Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
It is picked off by the line. Darius Slay's got it. Coming back right side 25. Picks up a block at the 30. Darius at the 40.
Drink it in, drink it in. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Rolls to the right. Stafford throws deep. Got a man out there. End zone. Caught. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Marvin Jones.
Drink it in, drink it in.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Cornbread.
Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Detroit Kool-Aid, what's going on, everybody? We are back, and I guess we're not back. I'm back because I wanted to get a quick show in for you guys. Grifka won't be joining us today. I'll still give him one bell though. Just crazy with the holidays, so Grifka wasn't able to make it. And then try to get my buddy Stefan. Stefan's a guy who I've hit up a couple Turkey Day games with. We were at that game against the Texans where it was just back and forth all day. They had that one play where the runner was down and they didn't call him down. He scores a touchdown. Jim Schwartz throws the flag. Everybody knows it's a good challenge, but they say it's not challengeable. And the Lions end up, I think, losing that game in overtime. So that was crazy. So I tried to get Stefan on the show. We weren't able to work it out either, unfortunately. My buddy Choppy, we've been to some Lions games as well, seeing if he could sub in. We weren't able to make it work. So I'm going to go solo today for a little Detroit Kool-Aid cast for all you guys. Just kind of work through that Panthers game, talk a little bit about this Thanksgiving Day matchup against the Bears, and then we'll get out of here. So appreciate everybody listening today. I'm going to kick this thing off with our injuries. So, just looking at the Lions' injuries right now, I mean, everybody knows Kerryon Johnson's the big one. I mean, this guy has been running the football amazing. He's really been a catalyst to the offense in general, even though our offense still isn't clicking the way we want to. He's going to be out this game, hopefully, in the next game or two. I would love to have him back because we love to build off what he's done this year and keep seeing what he can be as a feature back heading into 2019. We also did get word that Marvin Jones is going to be out again. That kind of surprised me. I mean, when he got hurt, it didn't look too serious. He was out last game. I was really hoping he'd be able to come back and play in this football game, but he's going to be out. They were able to make it work against the Panthers, but, I really think Marvin Jones on the other side of Kenny Golladay really makes a big difference, so we'll see if that impacts the Thanksgiving game. I haven't heard on Big Mike Roberts. He started his career slow here with the Lions. Then he popped up out of nowhere, had a few touchdowns, made a few plays. That was nice to see. He's a big red zone threat. Kind of got that shoulder injury. Looked really bad a week or two ago. But I've heard he's been back down in the practice field, so that's been good. Hopefully he can get in there and do some things. And then I put this one in just for Grifka before I knew we weren't going to be able to record together this week. Ziggy Ansah has been good in limited snaps coming back. I mean, he's made sacks, he's had pressures, and he continues to practice on a limited basis. So I'd expect to see him out there, and he's impactful when he's been on the field. So everybody, I'm sure, getting ready for your Thanksgiving here coming up soon. And so I'm going to serve a big, tall glass of that Detroit Kool-Aid today. And by the end of this, you'll have your turkey, you'll have your stuffing, you'll have your mashed potatoes, and you'll probably have the Lions in the playoffs and maybe headed to the Super Bowl by the time this Kool-Aid cast is done. So let's jump right into it. Let's get right to that Panther win over the Panthers. I mean, this was a game me and Grifka both picked as a loss. The Lions had not been playing good football. But man, I want to say this to all the people out there listening too. Happy GOLLADAYS. Happy Thanksgiving and happy GOLLADAYS. Kenny Golladay, the guy I've been touting all year long, really came up absolutely huge. And that was great to see. So, like I said, this was a game we came in. We thought it was going to be hard to deal with Christian McCaffrey. We thought they had a lot of little skill players that are going to give us trouble. And man, they sure did on the first drive. I mean, it was just embarrassing to watch. The Carolina Panthers came out and boom, 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 right down the field, 90 yards, scoring a touchdown on the Lions. That was just something, all the all the Grifkas out there were probably already shut the TV off and thought this was going to be an automatic loss, going to be just a beatdown. It was just tough to see with, you know, Swiss cheese type defense, just getting making it look like a practice out there. But man, did they get it together after that? The Lions came right back out, looked good on their first drive. Matt Stafford seemed to have a little bit of that mojo. I mean, he was just coming down up and down the field, making good plays, good passes, had a little up tempo at some points, which was nice to see. We've been calling that for a while. And they put it right in the end zone with I believe that pitch play they ran to carry on where they pitched it out to the left, which again, man, how many times have I told Grifka that we need to get carry on the edge? He seems to be great out there using his stiff arm, using his speed. They pitched it. We had a few blockers out there. I mean, there was nobody there. It was an easy walk-in touchdown for the guy. So let me just talk for a minute again about Kerryon Johnson. I know I'm hyping him and Kenny Golladay every show, but Kerryon Johnson continues to get these amazing little 3, 4, 6-yard runs where there's nothing to be had. He breaks a tackle, he gets his legs churning, he moves up the field, he moves the chains. I mean, this is what the Lions have missed the last few years when they were running Amir Abdullah, Theo, some of these guys out there that, yeah, they're talented athletes and players, but when it comes down to gritty runs, I mean, I don't remember too many runs where Amir's breaking 2, 3 tackles and knocking a guy over to get a first down. So I loved what I saw there from Kerryon. And the other thing that's crazy is when there is a hole there, as far as the offensive line blocks it up nice, I mean, this guy doesn't get 3, 4, 5 yards on those. He gets 20. I mean, he's busting up the field with some speed. He's, has the ability to break the big ones, to score touchdowns. And the biggest thing I love about this guy is he's a true 3-down back. I mean, I know the Lions are going to want to spread it around, keep him healthy in the long run, but you never have to take this guy off the field. I mean, he's great in the pass game. He's good now as far as pass protection. He'll only get better. I mean, what can you say? The guy looks like an NFL running back. He's got good speed, but he also has good bulk, good overall size at the position, productive in high school, in college, productive as a rookie. I mean, there's a lot of great things to look forward here, too, for the Lions in the run game with number 33. So you got to love that. The other guy we want to talk about today is Kenny G. I mean, happy Golladays. Kenny Golladay was... He was good, he was great, but the reason is because they got him the football. Like I've been saying, if this guy's going to be your number one, and obviously he's your number one with Marvin out, you have got to feed this guy. I mean, I felt like they made a concerted point to make him the first look, get him the football, and he does what he does, which is he does not drop the ball. He goes up and gets it when it's contested. When you throw it to him, he still has some run after catch ability. And the touchdown play was absolutely unbelievable. Like Matt Stafford threw one of his 3/4 sidearm, kind of lofted up, but at least he gave the guy a chance. And that's all you got to do with number 19. I mean, give him a chance. The guy goes up and makes plays. He's got the sticky hands, does not drop the football, and you got to keep doing that. I mean, even today, as we head towards Turkey Day, I mean, he's the only big-time receiver out there, but there's lots of teams out there that only have a number one and then have some side items since we're heading towards Turkey Day. Kenny Golladay is the main course on this team, and you have to feed him. You have to absolutely make him the centerpiece of the meal. And again, it happens on other teams where the main guy is getting 12, 14 targets, and which results usually in 7, 8, 9 catches for upwards to 100 yards, and it helps him get in the end zone. So don't spread it around too much where you're ignoring this guy, you're not getting the ball, and you're not making him a centerpiece of the team while Marvin is out. And when Marvin comes out, if he sees a little less coverage, you still have to make him a centerpiece just due to his athleticism too. I mean, when you see this guy, he looks different in a uniform. I mean, he's 6'4", probably upwards in the 220 range. And he's just proven time and time again that if the ball's in the area, he's gonna go up and do almost all he has to get it. And then if he's got any room after the catch, he's gonna make plays there too. So a great game for Kenny. I mean, I want to talk a little bit about Stafford. I mean, I felt he played okay. I mean, he managed the game. He led the team to a victory. He made a few big clutch plays when it happened, but there were a few too many times in this game again where I felt like he was spewing the ball kind of all over the field. Ball was high, ball was out of bounds. Wasn't making plays sometimes with his feet like we like. Wasn't as sharp as you would hope. I mean, he was okay. He was good, but he wasn't great. And I still feel like I'm looking for that Stafford of old, where he's making incredible throws in all types of small windows. He's running when he needs to. He's yakking with the other team, talking some smack, putting the ball up deep, which, again, I don't know how many deep balls we had in this last game against the Panthers, but I feel like we may have stretched it a couple times, which is more than we've done in the past, but it wasn't enough. I mean, we need to use this guy's arm, throw the football down the field. So he's okay. I want him to be better. I'd like the up tempo if we get that going a little bit more. I understand that without some of these playmakers and with the injuries we have, you kind of have to manage the game. I'm really curious to see what happens on Thanksgiving, because without Carry-On back there, it's going to revert to the old Lions, where he's probably going to have to throw it 40 sometimes. Doesn't have the greatest of weapons on the outside. Can he get it done? But we'll dive into that game against the Bears here in a minute. The Carry-On injury is big. I brought it up in the top. I mean, when he kind of fell down there, I didn't really think much of it. Seemed to kind of jam his knee on the turf. I mean, this guy's had an injury history. He's kind of been banged up across the board, but I think that, the news coming out was good. It was kind of disappointing. I think he had 70, 80 yards heading into the half. Wasn't able to do basically anything in the second half. Went to the locker room, never came back. I mean, we just hope this isn't something that lingers. This isn't something that, nags at the guy if he does come back. But it didn't look too serious. I mean, really hoping that in the next few games he get back and end this season strong. He's an integral part not only to the team right now, but obviously moving forward. See what we can put around him and beef up that defense a little bit. So, the injury was a big thing. The Lions were able to push through it and get that victory. How I don't understand in this game against the Panthers how we held Christian McCaffrey down. I mean, the biggest thing the Lions don't do well is guard, guys coming out of the backfield and tight ends with their linebackers and slot guys. And that's all Christian McCaffrey does, is he kills people coming out of the backfield, catching the ball, making plays. I thought for sure he was going to get loose for a big score. And, he didn't do barely anything in this game. I mean, that was crazy. That was great to see. I mean, if the Lions can continue to take out some of these top playmakers, that's going to make a huge, huge difference. So that was tremendous to see. Now, on the flip side of the coin, they sure didn't do well with DJ Moore. I mean, DJ Moore is a rookie. He's a really young guy. He's a guy that, coming out of the draft, was a player that, can catch the ball, make plays after the catch, really kind of a physical player when it comes to ball in the air, when it comes to blocking, run after catch. He's just a young receiver that has a lot of tools, but didn't ever seem like he was going to be a legit number one. But man, he sure showed out in this game. I mean, he was making plays every time I looked up. We got to hit on probably one of the crucial plays of the game. I mean, they throw the ball to DJ Moore, he gets loose, and he's basically walking into the end zone. And here comes number 40 and number 23. I mean, Jared Davis on his horse, way down the field, trying to make a play. And big play, Darius Slay. I mean, on his horse, on his pony, he gets after this ball and actually gets DJ Moore to the ground, probably inside the 10. I mean, still didn't look good for the Lions because Carolina is great in that short area. and he makes the tackle. I mean, wow, what an unbelievable play by Slay. And who knew? But man, a few plays later, the Panthers kind of stall out, still have a short field goal. You're basically chalking it up, going to get some food at that point, and boom, hits the upright again. I mean, unbelievable luck the Lions have had with kickers this year. What a play by Slay, and what a hustle play. I mean, what a testimony to never quitting on a play and seeing that was an easy 7. Next thing you know, it's an easy 3, and then next thing you know, it's 0. I mean, huge play in the game. A few other missed kicks or hits off the upright. And man, this ball game's coming down late. It's a back and forth game. The Lions are coming down, and like I said, I mentioned it earlier. Matt Stafford, I want to say it was even a third down too. Third down and pretty long. He throws the football up to Kenny Golladay, kind of basically a 50-50 ball. I mean, he puts it in a great spot. But, I mean, there's not too many players on the planet that make that play. I mean, Kenny basically full extension. I mean, horizontal to the field, laid out. And he absolutely makes a tremendous play on the ball. Able to not only catch it, but pull it in, you know. I felt they showed that catch a few times. I mean, I don't know why they kept showing it to me. Not only did he catch it, first of all, he tucked it away. When he hit the ground, the ball did kind of pop free towards, between his legs, but he kept his hand on that football all the way through. I mean, it was a definite catch. It was a heck of a play. And, didn't know if it'd be the game winner at that point, but I mean, that's a young guy in his second year making plays. I mean, making a game-winning type play, making a play that nobody else on the Detroit Lions basically can make. So that was tremendous. Super hype at that point. And then I'm wondering, okay, can this defense come up big? The defense, I haven't talked about it much here in the podcast, but I mean, this D has been much better against the run the last few games. I mean, Snacks Harrison has been an absolute beast. And again, without Grifka here, I can't yell at him, but let's talk about at the trade deadline for a moment. I mean, the Lions went out and got Snacks Harrison for a 5th-round pick. The guy's under contract for 2-3 more years. I mean, any Lions fan that has 2 eyes is watching the game and can see this guy is a huge impact in the run game on this defense. He's here. He's locked up for the next couple of years. Like, that's a huge building block. And, man, the run defense has been much better. I mean, I feel we are just a sieve in the pass game right now. But getting Slay back made a huge difference. Anytime the ball goes anywhere near Nevin Lawson or Tease, it's an absolute catch. I'm just praying it's not a touchdown when it goes to one of those people. But, I mean, overall, the defense has been better. I mean, Kennard continues to get after the quarterback. I mean, Ziggy has been pushing the pocket back. Even when he's not making plays, he's getting some good push, some good rush out there. I mean, you got to like what you see. And, I mean, we're still going to have to win games balanced. Our offense has to be good. Our defense has to be, better than average to win football games right now. But what I see is an offense that has enough pieces to do it, especially, when everybody's healthy. And a defense that's only going to get better because we're going to load up in the draft and free agency on that side of the football. I guarantee it. Get some playmakers, get some blue chippers, and it's going to be a whole different team. So the defense played big. I mean, they played terrible on the first drive. They played pretty well to great kind of throughout the game, keeping Cam Newton in check, keeping Christian McCaffrey in check. I mean, I felt like that was some good stuff. Was able to get off the field on 3rd down a couple times. But here we go. After the Kenny catch, they got to stand up and make a play. And I feel like Carolina, again, at the worst time in the game, went down the field on us, was able to get in the end zone, and here goes Riverboat Ron Rivera on the Panthers sideline, going for 2, basically a slap in the face to this Detroit Lions defense, saying, we don't respect you, we can do whatever we want right now, we're just going to put this in, win the ball game, and act like this game never happened for them. So he goes for it on 2-point to basically win the game. I was very nervous because this is classic area for the Carolina Panthers. Short field, They got their option game open. They've got the swing pass to McCaffrey open. They got the run with Cam Newton open. They've got all these little receivers. I mean, DJ Moore. They got Samuels out there. They could throw the big fade to Funchie. I mean, all this stuff's running through my head. They just have so many options, and this is where Cam Newton excels. Is tight field, short yardage. And sure enough, man, he scrambled around. Lions tried to be sticky, tried to stay with their guys, but guy breaks wide open free, basically right in front of Cam Newton's face, too, which is the surprising part. Like, he broke free right in front of his grill, and Cam Newton just just absolutely airmails this football, 10 feet over the guy's head. I mean, at that point, I felt kind of bad because I sent a couple messages to some buddies saying, ball game. Super excited, but not thinking, oh man, there's still a little bit of time left. We got to get this onside kick. There's been times in Lions history where, they haven't been very good in some of those areas. So, the onside kick came. It was a dribbler to Zach Center, but luckily he was able to get on it and win this game. So, just to wrap it all up, I mean, I thought it was a huge win for the Lions. I know most people are already thinking about the draft, thinking about next year, and don't get me wrong, some of my thoughts are there too. But, I'm a Lions fan. I'm a Detroit Kool-Aid drinker, so I definitely do want to see this team get some W's, play well, get kind of that good momentum going, get this coach into a spot where he can really excel in 2019 with better players, a good draft, good free agency, all that type of stuff. So, I'll take it, definitely. Another home win, a win that wasn't expected. I mean, you got to love that. And it'd be nice to head into Thanksgiving, which we're about to talk about, and stack another one up. I mean, why not? Why not stack another one up and then see what you can do after that? So, a good win by the team. Stafford was good. Kenny, Carry-On played huge. Defense made enough stops to get us the victory. So, gotta love that. Me and Grifka were both wrong, and we're happy to be wrong when the Lions put up a dub. So, good stuff there. Now, this is going to be a combined podcast, so we're just going to jump into Turkey Day, talk a little bit about that, give you my predictions, hit you with a few questions, and then we'll get out of here so everybody can enjoy the holiday, and then we'll come back after the holiday and kind of recap everything, get Grifka back on the show, and kind of talk some more lines that way. So, Thanksgiving Day, man, oh man, so many crazy memories. I know when I was living right down there in Royal Oak, there's no fonder memory than me and the Big Hughes loading up my S10 at that point. We actually put the full grill in the back. I mean, the full-size grill went in the back of the truck, drove down. I mean, we got there so early on a Thanksgiving that there weren't even parking attendants, so we basically pulled into the lot, set up shop, and then started taking money and started parking people. I mean, it was that crazy, but we grilled up the turkey on the grill. I mean, we had the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, all that good stuff. I mean, I remember making a sign with Matt Millen's head on a turkey. Tried to get that into the stadium. They wouldn't allow that, but we had a bunch of fun with that. I mean, we've been to so many Thanksgiving games down there. It was just tremendous. So tons of memories. I could just run them down all day, but that's one that I remember of just cooking up the full Thanksgiving meal right on the grill, being there so early that nobody else was even around downtown, and just having a ton of fun when we get into the game. So, I assume this one will be no different. I mean, the Bears coming to town. The Bears are leading the division. They think they're just playing tremendous football. Again, I just hit it right off the bat. I mean, to me, it's a slap in the face that they didn't think they're going to just roll out their backup quarterback, Chase Daniel, and get away with that here in Detroit and get a victory. I mean, they're not going to do that against most other teams, but they think, hey, we beat these guys down a couple weeks ago. They got a bunch of injuries on that side. I mean, we could just manage the game. They think Nagy's going to pull out a couple rabbits out of his hat and just be able to offensively scheme us and get this victory. So, I mean, if I'm the Lions, I take that personally. I mean, Chase Daniels has played, I want to say, 3 games his entire NFL career in the regular season. I mean, come on. This guy, I don't care how well he knows the offense. you're going to come into a hostile Ford Field in a place that, yeah, he's going to make some plays, but is he going to be able just to dominate and win this game? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to rely more on their run game, the Bears will. I think they think their defense is just good enough to show up and just beat the Lions. I don't agree. I mean, if we can scheme a way to slow down Khalil Mack, I mean, I don't think they have a bunch of playmakers. I mean, I love Roquan Smith in the draft, but I can't tell you a bunch of people on their back end. I mean, I liked Eddie Jackson coming out of the draft too. He's been a pleasant surprise for them. But other than that, I mean, yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, the numbers are good, and they've been good this year. But it's not a defense that I don't think Stafford can make plays against and can find a way to win. So, I mean, that's my big thing right off the bat. I mean, I just hate that they just think they're rolling out their quarterback and it's going to be fine. That's just ridiculous. So, I mean, my big thing with this for the Lions is, I mean, can they build off that last win? I mean, they had a great win against the Panthers. You know, they've got a lot of pride. I mean, they know that they don't have all their A-plus skill players right now. But, I mean, overall, their defense is pretty healthy. And if they can find a way to manage, I mean, I don't know, Mike Ford was pretty hit or miss last game, but they've got to manage Tease and Nevin Lawson. I mean, the less snaps, the better for these guys. I mean, I don't know if you can move Diggs back on people, play Tavon Wilson in the back end, or get, you know, we got to talk about Tracy Walker. I mean, this guy made a pick last game. He's really been coming on. I think he's got to be out there more. I mean, he played some corner in college. I mean, we got to start looking at any options because that's going to be big. But can the Lions build off that last win? Can they use this Turkey Day vibe and mojo to get this victory? I think this game's winnable. I mean, can the Lions stop their run game? I think they match up well against like a Jordan Howard type. I mean, we have Snacks in the middle. We have some linebackers that can plug the holes. So I don't see Jordan Howard doing a ton of work. I mean, could he fall in the end zone? Sure. You know, could he have 50, 60 yards? Sure. He's not going to game break you. Tariq Cohen, I felt like didn't do anything last time we played him. You know, he had terrible yards per carry. I want to say it was like under 2 yards. I can't remember if he got in the end zone that game or not, but I mean he's a splash player. I think this guy is dynamic when he runs. I mean, when he runs, he's up there with Tyreek Hill and a few others as far as just legit speed on the field. So, I mean, that's something to account for, no doubt about it. The Lions are going to have to be on their P's and Q's because you do not want him getting out loose in the screen game and taking one, 60 plus on you for a touchdown. So I think that's going to be important. No Marv, no KJ, man. That worries me a lot. I think that, Kerryon Johnson to me is going to be the biggest missing piece. I mean, who's going to fill in for him? Like, the more I've been thinking about it this week, I mean, everyone's thinking, maybe LeGarrette Blount will do some things. Maybe Theo will be a bigger role. Like, as crazy as it sounds, I mean, I think Zach Zenner is going to be the guy. We just signed him back a few weeks ago, but I've heard a few interviews with him. I mean, he knows this offense really well. He's a super intelligent guy. He can block, he can catch, he can run. I mean, I've never been a Zach Zenner fan because I felt like he's Zach Zenner, bro. I mean, he was undrafted for a reason. He had great college production, but he's not an NFL prototype guy. But this is the kind of situation where I think he can surprise some people. I think he can make some plays. I think he can move some chains. I mean, I'd be looking for him, in the run-pass game a bit more than a LeGarrette Blount. Now, I think LeGarrette Blount needs to get going in regards to, they seem to still be using him just at spotty work, or maybe when they get down close, maybe he can bang one in. But I just haven't seen the juice from this guy. I feel there are times where he has kind of the sweet feet where he can make a move and get upfield and do some things, but a lot of times, like, he's just kind of stuck in mud and getting, the plays aren't blocked well for him or whatever the situation is, but he just hasn't been good. I mean, like the guy, he seems like a good locker room guy, but just wondering if he just doesn't have it anymore. So, he could surprise me too, but I mean, if I'm going in this game, I'd love to sort of feature Zach Zenner because, again, he's been kind of off the radar. and do what I've said a bunch of times here on the show. I mean, I saw a glimpse of it. I think it was last week and last couple weeks. Theo Riddick in the pass game is a problem for defenses. Like, if you can run the right routes at the right time, and there's been a few drops and a few issues by not only by Theo, but I think it was last game against the Panthers when he was wide open on the screen and Matt Stafford just guns the ball at him as hard as he can. I mean, come on, man. If you can throw the ball with some touch and get the ball to Theo in open space, he's dynamic, man. He's basically a slot receiver. He's a receiver that they call a running back. So use him that way. Just spread him out. Don't always run that same arrow route that they like to run all the time. Mix it up. Be a little creative. JBC. Use this guy and make him a dynamic player. I think he can be, but he's not a dynamic runner of the football. And you can't keep running the same plays for him. You got to mix it up, and you got to get him the ball in space and let him do what he does, which is throw that stanky leg on the defenders and make them miss. And then who knows? I'd love to see him house call a play in this game. I don't feel like he's gotten the end zone much the last couple of years. So that's my take on it. I mean, I'm looking for Theo and Zach Zenner to be in the run game. Kenny's basically the only guy outside again, so you're going to have to force feed him targets. I don't see that being a huge issue. But they're going to have to get creative offensively because you are a little bit thin there. This is a game I think the defense is going to have to step up, make some turnovers, make a few big stops when they need them. Frustrate Chase Daniel because as much as he thinks he knows everything, I think if you can rattle his cage a little bit, it could be a long day for him and that offense. So if I got to predict this game, Thanksgiving Day, the Lions with a little bit of juice. They always seem to play good on Thanksgiving. I see this game as like a 24-17 game, Lions. I don't think they can put up a ton of points, but I think they can put up enough to get in the 20s there. And with Chase Daniels under center and Slay back and a bunch of other things going our way, I see us kind of frustrating the Bears and holding them to 17 kind of grimy points. So 24-17, give me a Lions victory 2 in a row. Then they got a real tough one after that, but we'll talk about that another day. So hope everybody on this thing, when they're watching that Thanksgiving game, I hope they enjoy their food, some football in the backyard, times with their family, all that good stuff. Because just a tremendous day, and always a great day for Detroit. Really get showcased and have a bunch of fun with this football game. So that's all I got to say about that. Really looking forward to it. Always hyped for Lions football, especially on Thanksgiving. So I got the Lions coming out with a big victory. So before we get out of here, I just want to hit the people with a few questions. The first question today comes from Graham from Glasgow. Wow, we're getting overseas now. So Graham from Glasgow wants to know. He says, I'm a big fan of the moustache in Movember. Have you ever rocked a stash? And can you name any classic stashes in sports history? Well, Graham from Glasgow, it's a good question. I personally have never rocked a stash. I've kind of had the scruff beard the last few years, but yeah, I can't go stash. I hate to call him out on the show, but I don't know if he listens from time to time, but my Uncle Eric, man, you want to talk about a moustache. My Uncle Eric rocks the stash better than Mario from Mario and Luigi. This guy has an absolute classic. I think he's going full beard now, but man, one of the greatest mustaches ever seen. If I had to name some classics, there's only one moustache that I gotta name, brother, and that's the Fu Manchu of Hulk Hogan, dude. That's the classic right there. There's plenty of other ones in sports as well, but sports entertainment, WWE, Hulk Hogan has always had the classic Fu Manchu mustache. So Graham, I'm gonna go with that one today and get us out of here. The next question comes from Peyton from Indy, and for some reason in his question he actually said that he recently relocated to Denver. So thanks for letting us know that, Peyton. He wants to know, the Lions have had some great Turkey Day games. and they've also had some blowouts. What Turkey Day memories do you have? Well, Peyton, I've already hit on a few of my memories here in the show. But if I just want to run down some quick ones, let me think here. Um, there's been a lot, like I say, in my time as a Lions fan, I wish we had Grifka on, because, he could go back another 30 years and give me some deeper history than even I have. But, I remember Joey Blue Skies, Joey Harrington coming in with the Dolphins and beating the Lions. For some reason at that point, I was so frustrated with how the Lions were playing, and I was always a Harrington supporter because I thought he had the most talent I had ever seen out of a Lions quarterback in regards to throwing the football. As we all know, he just never had it when it came to leadership, locker room, game day play, all that type of stuff. But he came in and beat the heck out of the Lions on Thanksgiving in another uniform, which was not so great to see. One thing I remember, this was kind of when I was like out on the fringes of a Lions fan, but I remember watching this just kind of on the side at a Thanksgiving, was that game, I want to say it was against Pittsburgh, where it was either overtime, I want to say it was overtime, and they do the coin flip, and they go heads or tails, and I think Jerome Bettis or somebody goes, tails, blatantly says tails, I think it was, and the referee goes, the call is heads. Oh my goodness, it was hilarious because it was just so blatant. I don't know how the guy mixed it up, but he calls the wrong thing. And I want to say the Lions, again, I don't have it right in front of me, but I think they end up winning that game or something. But that was a hilarious Thanksgiving. I hope I had that right, but that's a memory I have of that one. And then a few years ago, the Lions had the Eagles, I think it was, on Thanksgiving, and just blew the doors off them. I want to say it was like 45-10 or something like that. Calvin Grifka's boy had like 3 touchdowns. That was at the peak of where he was before he went down the tubes and quit on the team. But that was kind of a fun one to watch. And then I know we've had some battles where like the Patriots came in years ago and we played them tough, but I think ended up losing the game. So Lions always seem to play big, but there definitely have been days where they've just got whomped by certain quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks, things like that. So, Peyton, appreciate the question. Good question. Fun to reminisce a little bit. And our final question is from Lomas from Florida. Lomas wants to know, he starts his question with, hey. Have turkey, what's your favorite Turkey Day side item? Well, Lomas, I'm not sure if you're a big fellow, but by that hey at the beginning, I would assume you are. And I'm sure you like the Turkey Day grub, the main meal, the side items, all that good stuff. So, man, it's a tough one. If I had to pick, my grandma's such a good cook. She just makes the greatest food all types of the year, but especially around Thanksgiving time. It's not a side item per se, but her favorite thing she makes is turkey broccoli casserole, which is this crazy, like, shredded turkey with broccoli and crumb crust and cheese and all types of goodness in there. That's incredible. But if I gotta pick a side item, it's hard for me to pick between these two, but mashed potatoes and stuffing. If I had to pick one out of those two, I'm going with stuffing, and here's why. Stuffing for years and years was like an item that I would never see until Thanksgiving Day, and then when it would come out, like either if it was the homemade or if it was the stovetop out of the box, like just tremendous. Stuffing is an underrated side item or food in general, so I realized I liked it so much and went so well with like a good piece of meat or just a good meal you'd make at home that I buy it all year round now, man. I'm getting the turkey stovetop stuffing all day from the store, and make that up in the microwave in a few minutes, which is my favorite, and then just putting that, like I say, with a good piece of chicken or even a steak sometimes, a little side of stuffing, and maybe either mashed potatoes or a side of veggies with maybe some mac and cheese. That's the way to go. So if I got to pick my favorite side item, Lomas, I'm going with stuffing all day, bro. So that's all the questions we have for today. Again, wanted to do a show, wanted to keep it a bit shorter. No Grifka, none of my other buddies were able to make it, but definitely want to get you guys a Kool-Aid cast, talking Panthers win, hyping up this Thanksgiving game. Again, throughout my prediction, I think it's another ball game we can win. So everybody, we totally thank everybody for listening, supporting the Detroit Kool-Aid cast. We're still having a bunch of fun with this thing. Love seeing the numbers go up every week. Love seeing you guys connect with us in all types of ways. Please hit subscribe on iTunes. Please tell a Lions fan, hey, you want a fun show to listen to every week where these guys just talk football. There's no ads. There's no wasted time. Send them our way and tell them to drink a big, tall glass of Detroit Kool-Aid. So everybody, enjoy this holiday. Enjoy this football game. Keep being optimistic about our Lions. They can get it together this year, as well as look forward to this offseason. It's going to be a big one. So, as me and Griff always say, drink it in. We'll be back next week talking all types of things. Talking about the Thanksgiving recap. We'll be talking about a really big, tough game with the Los Angeles Rams coming into our house. So see if we can continue to play good and see what happens there. So again, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great Thanksgiving. Happy GOLLADAYS to everybody. And we'll be back next week on the Detroit Kool-Aid cast. We're out.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions. Drink it in, man.